It's that time of month again, the Maker's Box Big Reveal video. Now, many of you who are subscribers, I want to apologize. This video should have been out much sooner, but honestly, I had a breaking point with juggling too many things. So it is officially out now, and I appreciate and thank each and every one of you for completely understanding and giving me a little grace. If you guys are new to the Maker's Box, every month on your doorstep, you will get this beautiful, colorful box delivered by the post office. When you open it up, you are gonna find that it is like a package on Christmas morning. The first thing you'll see is the postcard, and the postcard has a lot of pertinent information on it. It gives an idea of my vision for the box of the month, or this month's box. It also lists what's in the box. It has the QR code, and then it gives you a little bit more inspiration on the bottom. So the October Maker's Box is about celebrating our imperfections. No one is perfect, and thank goodness for that, you guys. It's important to give ourselves some grace and to celebrate our quirks. There's also 5 ways that you guys can show support of our small business and to really connect with us on social media. So I do have my group page set up where you can share pictures of yourself with the Maker's Box, projects you've created. Also, it does not have to be about the Maker's Box. I want to see what you guys are doing, what you're creating, and it is a community that I am building out there on my group page, guys. So we're going to talk about what was in the October box, but I give you one last word, a bit more inspiration. Let's celebrate the beauty of our imperfections. It's what makes us human. And I definitely showcased that this month, you guys, with the October box. I took on far too many things. I often think of myself as Superwoman, and I realized this month I am definitely not. I had to ask for help, which I don't like to do. And my friends came out and they supported me and helped me with all the things. So this video is out a little late. I'm sorry for that, but I want to thank you all for giving me a bit of grace. So let's dive into the box. After you rip the tissue paper open, the first thing you're gonna see are the exclusive papers. And if you're new here, you do get 2 exclusive recycled papers and 2 exclusive The Painted Photographer rice papers. This month, Royce outdid herself, you guys. So she came up with one, and this is going to be perfect for furniture, for smalls. It is a beautiful background for mixed media. It is definitely amazing. She did not name this, so I named it for her. I am calling this Rustique. It has the perfect bit of just like rustic look to it. So I did name that Rustique. And I said I felt like I was drunk with power. The other one is Autumn Botanical. And you guys, wait till you see the full extent of this paper. It is absolutely gorgeous. Now, Connie, when she sent these papers over to me, I screamed a bit, especially when I saw the first one called Witching Hour. You guys, it is so good. She's got these beautiful witches here, and they come on a 3-up, so you can use them on multiple projects. I think that one is definitely going to be really popular. And the other one is called Rustic Crow. I don't have the names memorized, so I had to look. And this one too, I did the best projects with these. So the 4 papers are exclusive to my box. You can't get them anywhere else. And as a subscriber, the perks of being a subscriber are I do send out an email on the day of the live unboxing, which is going to be Friday, October 18th. I send it out at 7 a.m. So all subscribers have the opportunity to order extra papers from this box and any of the past boxes if I still have them available. So let's dive in to the paints. Oh, you guys, honestly, when I first started offering sweet pickings, I had so many people say, work with a sweet potato, work with a sweet potato. And it was in like, I think it was in like spring. And I was like, sweet potato? I use sweet potato. And you guys, this is my new favorite fall color. Wait till you see the coverage, and it is the perfect pumpkin color, you guys. I could have painted and painted and painted with this nonstop. I love it, and I think there's so many different applications. But yeah, so you all got a sampling of the sweet potato from Sweet Pickins. I also include a little something in every box, and this is an ornament of a maple leaf, and I think it would be perfect dangling off of something or like in a mixed media application. I loved it. So you do get 2 DIY paints, and the colors that I chose, I like to curate the colors based on what Connie paints with. So this month, Connie used Fire Starter from DIY Paint. She also used a bit of Summer Crush in the Witches as well. And last month, September's box had Summer Crush in it. She also used Prairie Gray, and this is such a beautiful gray, you guys. So those are your 2 DIY colors, and they're amazing. Now, Fusion. I grabbed colors that I found within Royce's paper. And the first one is Carriage House. It's a beautiful green. And then I also wanted to have like a creamy white or like a creamy, and I chose Chateau. So those are your colors of October's Maker's Box. Now let's go ahead and start our projects. I found this at the Goodwill bins, and the tag on it was $19.99. I can see why no one bought it over at the regular Goodwills. Plus it had some chippiness, and normally I love that, but I decided I was going to completely transform it. Now the weight on this would have been pretty heavy, so they gave it to me for $3.99. The first thing I did though, guys, is I brought out my hand sander and I made a complete mess. I used my hand sander to get rid of the rest of that chippy paint, and really a lot of it came off. So I don't know what kind of paint they used, but I wanted to bring it down to almost the bare wood, or get rid of most of that chippiness, because we're going to use the Sweet Pickins milk paint on this pumpkin. You guys, I'm slightly obsessed with sweet potato here. It is such a beautiful orange, and definitely a fall favorite color for me. I think you could definitely incorporate it all season long, but for pumpkins, it is perfect, you guys. So if you have yet to use the Sweet Pickins milk paint, it is 1 part of the powder to 1 part warm water. And then I take my whisk and I whisk it all up, and I let it sit for approximately 10 minutes, and it should be like a melted milkshake. I'm going to apply just 1 even coat to the entire pumpkin. And one thing I love about the Sweet Pickins milk paint is that it is completely unpredictable. You have no idea what is going to happen, and that's what I love the most. Whether you're going to get some additional chippiness, you're going to get some crackle goodness, or it's just going to completely be just a nice coverage. You will not know. It just reacts differently to whatever you apply it to. Now, with this piece of wood, I thought I was going to get some more chippiness, maybe a little bit of crackle goodness, and it really absorbed very nicely into this piece of wood. So then I had to go back with my hand sander to distress it just a tad. What I love about my hand sander is that it has a couple different settings. So I always like to put it on one. It just gives me a little bit better control. And what I do is I just sand all over it. I want to just bring out a little bit more of that wood. And there was a little bit of orange still left over underneath that was a bit dark. And I wanted to bring that out as well. Next, we're going to use Connie's paper, and you guys, this one is so good. I am just going to take a paintbrush and a little water, and I am going to go around the area that I want to use. I don't want to just lay down that full piece of paper directly on here. I love it with the rice paper. When you get it wet and you tear it, it has like just the most beautiful fringe or texture around the edge, and that's what I'm doing here now. I'm going to use liquid patina from DIY, and you guys know this is definitely my go-to decoupage medium. And initially I was like, do I want this in the center? Do I want it to the left? Do I want it to the right? And I eventually settled on the right. And I am just going to apply my starter strip, which I always do with whether or not I'm using rice paper or recycled decoupage paper. I'm going to smooth it out, and then I'm going to lift it up, and I'm going to work my way down. After I completely get the paper applied to the pumpkin, I'm going to take the liquid patina and I'm going to use it as a sealer over the entire piece. And the sealer or liquid patina has more of like a satin finish or almost like a flat, where if you use Big Top, it has a little bit of a sheen to it. For my sign, I'm using one of my favorite sets from IOD called Typesetting, and I am going to use the black ink pad, and I am just going to stamp out fall. I know it had fall on there before, but I really wanted the colors all to match with the pumpkin, so I repainted it with that same orange from Sweet Pickins. I ink it up and I just stamp it out, and with the ink it is permanent, so once it dries it is completely set. The last thing is I need to fix the stem. So the stem was in there, but it was broke. I am using Type Bond's Quick and Thick, and I'm also using that metal piece that was on there as well. I am filling up the hole with Quick and Thick. I'm also going to add a bit of that Quick and Thick Type Bond to the actual stem and then put it back in there and let it set up. And you guys, this project is complete. This cutting board for a bit, and I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with it. The one side had some must have been a design on it and was coming off. The other side had a beautiful like patina, so I didn't want to do anything to the back side. I decided I was going to add Royce's new paper on here. Oh my gosh, this autumn botanical is so beautiful, you guys. And anytime I really want my paper to pop, I go ahead and apply a white to whatever I'm applying the decoupage paper to. So here I'm using White Swan, and I'm just going to apply one even coat. Here is the paper called Autumn Botanicals, and I love how Royce has incorporated so many different elements onto this paper. The botanicals are beautiful. I love those butterflies. There's like a font in the background. It is absolutely gorgeous. So what I have decided is I wanted to add the butterflies to this cutting board, and I thought it would be beautiful in any kitchen. Once I lay it out, I then go ahead and pull the paper back. And just like I always do, the easiest way to apply decoupage paper is to use a starter strip and just apply a really nice even coat of whatever type of decoupage medium you're using. Here I'm using liquid patina, which is definitely my go-to. I also mist the paper, and this actually activates the fibers in the paper and allows you to very easily eliminate a lot of the wrinkles. So what I do is I lay it down, I smooth it out with my paintbrush, and then once I get that top portion all smoothed out, I flip it back over, I lay down the rest of the decoupage medium, and just really nice and even, I mist my paper and then I smooth it all out. And the key for any project is you want your paper to be completely dry before you move on to the next step, which is sanding. Just go ahead, take a piece of sandpaper, and in a downward motion, go out and remove any of that excess. And really, this project could be complete here, but I decided to add just a little bit of twine to the very top, and that is really a very simple and easy way to completely transform a cutting board that was really meant for the landfill. For this project, these boards I used at the retreat and they make the perfect frame. So I'm using Connie's paper again. And you guys, this one is going to be another really quick and easy flip. So first and foremost, I take the paper, I lay it in the board, and then I just take my nail and I rub along the very edge to find out where I want to cut it. And it's just a nice, crisp, clean edge, and I can just take a really sharp scissors and cut the paper out. After that, then what I'm going to do is I'm using Prairie Gray, and I'm going to paint the entire frame, including the back, and just a little bit of the edge on the inside, Prairie Gray. And DIY paint has such good coverage that I only needed one coat. After that, I just take my paper and I set it right on the inside, and then I start using my liquid patina to decoupage it in place. And just like I've done with all my other projects, I place it, I pull the paper back, I do the starter strip, and then I work my way down. After it is completely dry, I went in with DIY's wax. It's the dark wax. And I have my waxing brush and I just go in on the very edge and I start a little bit heavier on the inside, and then as I work my way out into the photo or the picture a little bit, I make it a little bit lighter. And then I take a piece of paper towel and I wipe away any of the excess. And because it's like a Halloween picture, I just think the dark wax just makes it or pulls it all together. And then I add just a little bit of the dark wax to the frame as well. I had a bit of leftover paint. I could not let it go to waste. I had this crate that I found at the bins, and I'm just going to apply one even coat of the Sweet Pickins milk paint to the entire crate. And I'm doing the bottom and the inside as well. Once it's completely dry, I definitely decided I wanted to give it a more distressed look. And so I just take my hand sander, I hand sand it all over, and I just bring out that grain of wood a little bit more. And it just turned out so good, you guys. And I think this will be the perfect little crate for Halloween or just your fall decor. Lastly, I do want to seal this, and Sweet Pickins has some oil waxes. If you have yet to work with the oil waxes, they are so fun. They come in clear, white, dark, or black. And today I started using the black. My go-to has always been the dark, and I thought black would be really nice for more of like a eerie Halloweenish type of look. So the key is you apply a nice even coat over your entire piece, let it sit for about 10 minutes to let that paint absorb it all in, and then take an old rag or an old piece of like a paper towel and wipe away the excess, and then it is complete. As I was cleaning out my garage recently, I found this little silver teapot, and you guys know how much I love these. So I didn't know exactly what I had wanted to do with it, but I decided to paint it Little Black Dress. Initially, my vision was I wanted to put the three witches on here, but I was going to use Chateau from Fusion. And then the witches had that dark gloom to them, and I thought, Little Black Dress it is. For the witches, what I decided to do was take a bit of water and a paintbrush, and I just outlined with the water where I wanted to tear that paper. I didn't want too much because there wasn't a lot of room on the front of that teapot, and I didn't want too little though, so I was trying to, incorporate some of the orange leaves and those bats and make sure I got the witch in there, or the witches and their robes. And after I apply it, I decided I should have used a white background. So here I'm laying it out, and I actually apply it. I use liquid patina. I apply it to the black teapot, or to, like where I have the little black dress in the background. And normally when I want my images or my papers to pop, I always apply white to the piece. A tip is if you have like something circular like this, you can flip the paper over and you can actually paint the back side. So once I apply it and I felt like the witches just did not pop like I had wanted, I actually took my finger and I peeled it off, and I was able to get it off and then redo this. My secondary one, I painted it white on the back, and then I relay it down, and this one was actually a little bit bigger, which I actually liked a lot better as well. I do the exact same thing, you guys. I lay it in place, and then I flip it from the top. I just kind of flip it over. I apply that liquid patina, and then you guys, this turned out so good. I love the look of this, and I also took a damp rag and I wet distressed it, so I had a little bit of that silver popping through, and overall I just think this looks so fun and is going to be perfect for any Halloween decor. When I found this, I was in love with it. I actually think this might stay in my home. I loved how large it was. It is a very substantial size, and I think it would be perfect on any kitchen table. It is a little bit of, it reminds me of a riser, but with not an extreme amount of height.
I knew I wanted to do something to this. I just didn't know what. And so it's been sitting in my stash for a bit. Now, I finally decided to use the paper from this month's Maker's Box, and Royce gave me permission to name it, and I called it Rustique. I love it because it can be used on so many different things, whether it's your small pieces, you can use it in mixed media, on furniture. I am slightly obsessed with it. Here it is, and I love how the edges have that rustic look, and then the center is much lighter. And so what I first do is I lay it out and I try to decide what part of the paper I want on here. And I do want a bit of that dark rustic edge. And I thought it would look kind of cool even to have one side a little bit lighter. So I line everything up, and then I'm going to go in and we are going to apply it. So I'm going to pull the paper back, use liquid patina, and again, just like I always do, lay down that starter strip, mist it, smooth out all those wrinkles, and this is by far the easiest way to do this, you guys. After I sand off the excess, once it is dry, I initially was going to add Chateau to the back of this, or to the bottom. And then after looking, I still had some weathered wood left over from one of the previous boxes. And I decided weathered wood would work perfectly with this paper and this project. So I'm applying one even coat of weathered wood to the back side. I am going to seal it with Big Top, and then this project is complete.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think about the October box. You guys, I loved it. Now November's box is going to be the holiday box. Next year, we're gonna kind of move things up a little bit so you guys that are our makers have the opportunity to get your hands on the fall items a bit sooner, and then the holiday items a bit sooner as well. And another perk that I tried last month, and I will be doing it again this month, is I am going to be sending out a Zoom link for all you subscribers, and we are going to be live all together on a Zoom call on Wednesday, October 16th at 6 p.m. We are going to take the witching hour, which is Connie's paper, and we are going to create a project together. So if you want to join me, it's a great opportunity for all of us to get together, chat, and create. Talk about, what we're doing or what have you. Grab just a chunk of wood and we'll decoupage it on the wood and we will create together. So I'm looking forward to that. And I am also looking forward to getting back to normalcy. Like I said earlier, I definitely took on a lot with my creative retreat and market, but it was so fulfilling, you guys. Honestly, I'm already starting to plan the next one. So definitely be looking for details for that event in 2025. All right, you guys, have yourselves a great weekend, and we will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.